Welcome to Rad, a daily reader for Reddit. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit videos. TIFU, I accidentally revealed my boyfriend's mom's infidelity. Obligatory. This story actually happened about a year ago. I, 18F at the time, was dating a boy named Jacob, 18M at the time. His father, early 60s, was a mechanic, and his mom, mid-50s, was an SAAHM. They were a pretty typical white suburban family in the South and had asked Jacob if they could meet me even though we had only been dating for a month. At the dinner, I met his mom, dad, older brother, older sister, and her newborn daughter. The dinner went well and I was chatting about my volunteer work at my college's blood drive. To which his father explains that his doctor told him he was O negative and a universal blood donor. My boyfriend mentions he is also O, but his siblings casually mention they are both AB. I don't think anything of it because my BF had mentioned that his mom was married once before and was widowed. The following conversation went like this. Me: oh, that's really cool. You're a really rare blood type. If you don't mind me asking, is your mom's blood type A and your dad's B, or your dad's A and mom's B? OS. Older sister: what do you mean? He's O. Gesturing to my BF's father. Me: oh, I know. I was just asking about your bio father. But of course, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I notice his mom get really pale, and it was in that moment I realized I fricked up. Older brother: what do you mean bio father? Me: I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything by it. Jacob's dad got real quiet and looking at his wife's face. He knew instantly. I look over to Jacob, who I think was starting to put the full picture of what was happening together. Jacob's dad: are you saying they're not my biological kids? Because my wife swore up and down in marriage counseling. By marriage counseling, they mean with a pastor, that they were my kids and she would never cheat on me. Yeah, turns out she never had any kids from her previous marriage. Jacob's mom: I would never cheat on you. OS and OB are your kids. Jacob's dad: OP, why do you think they're not my kids? I tried to excuse myself because it was very clear the cat was out of the bag. And with a quick Google search from my boyfriend, he starts cussing out his mom. She starts to sob and apologizes over and over again. And I am forced to explain 9th grade biology to his father about the fact that the only kids he could have produced were with the blood type O, A or B, but absolutely not AB. Jacob was the only one with the possibility of being his son. They all start screaming at one another. OS eventually leaves because her newborn is screaming too. His mom goes and locks herself in the bedroom. His older brother follows her screaming, asking who his real father is. My boyfriend is trying to figure out if his dad still wants to be their father. I eventually have a friend come pick me up. Yeah, we broke up shortly after, but not after figuring out that none of the kids produced from their marriage were his. Edit. They found out via paternity tests. For sure weren't his kids. And they divorced soon after. TL. Doctor: I accidentally revealed that my boyfriend's mom was unfaithful by pointing out the fact that his older siblings, who both had the blood type AB, could not have been biologically related to their O negative father. Edit. For those asking how they knew their blood types, Jacob donated blood for the blood drive at our school. His sister just had a baby, so she was probably informed during pregnancy. Jacob's dad was told by his doctor for probably underlying medical reasons. I don't know. I wasn't ever really close to his family after that for obvious reasons. And I don't know how his brother knew. Edit. PSA. Reading through the comments, I have discovered many of you don't know your blood type. Go find out your blood type. It can save your life in an emergency. If your parents find out your children's blood type, if you to discover you are not biologically related to one or either of your parents, I am very sorry, but you should still know your blood type, and I would suggest some therapy. That's an amazing life experience. Not many people get to be the catalyst for a family disintegrating by holding an impromptu high school science lecture. Dope. I second this. It may have felt uncomfortable in the moment, but knowing science and explaining it to people who don't know science is never an FU as in a TIFU. It's like Bill Nye meets Jerry Springer. This is exactly why our bio class stopped having the students compare their blood to their parents' blood for labs. Apparently there was always one kid every year who was not biologically connected to the dad. / Jesus Christ, man. Nah, here's his wine. I wonder how many people will actually see a family implode. You had a front row seat, dinner and a show. Personally, I would want to know. It'd be like getting a horse kick in the gut. Of course. But life would get better eventually. TL. Doctor, rant because it doesn't always get better. It's a nice notion and good for looking to the future, but injuries take time to heal. Some longer than others, and in old age time isn't your most abundant resource. Imagine having 15 years left to live. Body doesn't work the way it used to. All the old age and your life explodes. The last 25 plus years of your life were built on lies. You have 15 to recover and get to a place where you are happier, more satisfied than you were with. The illusion of a happy family with grandchildren and financial security. Some people might not be able to get there in that time or less. Not trying to be a downer or contrarian, I just had a qualm with the mentality. I feel like calling it a kick in the gut doesn't do this level of betrayal and hurt justice. I'm always a little skeptical if that mentality. I know it's important for moving forward and carrying on, but when people say crap like, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger, it makes me want to pull my hair out. There are so many things in life that have the potential to break you. Does that mean you can't get back up? Of course it doesn't. It's up to you to find your way out of the dark. But does that mean you will always get back out? No, it doesn't. There are so many people who hit a wall and it's just too much for them to climb with where and who they are in that moment. And this is assuming it's something that you can just overcome. PTSD doesn't make you stronger. Depression doesn't make you stronger. Life doesn't necessarily have to get better. Life eventually gets better is positive, wishful thinking that I would encourage the majority of people to take if they want a simplistic worldview to get them through the day, but I just see too much to feel like that isn't flawed is some massive ways. In this example we're talking about a man in his early 60s, who just had his entire life crumble around him. Let's assume this is the US. Meg mortality on AVG is 76-ish years. So if he doesn't kick it early due to heart issues, which isn't uncommon, he has less than 16 years left. Opposite, her BF was 18 at the time with 2 older siblings. Absolute bare minimum gives us the parents being together for 20 years. Out of wedlock, barely knowing each other beforehand and having all the kicks back to back. This is obviously unlikely, but there is a prior marriage mentioned, so this likely was not a college sweetheart story. Let's just be conservative and say 25 years history between the parents. Being with someone for that long, having gone through counseling and so many experiences, birth, children especially, and then finding out some of the most foundational aspects of that relationship have always been a lie. That's the sort of thing that breaks most people, not makes them stronger. Who knows what happened post-divorce, but it's likely there was no prenup, so it's not hard to assume the father is also now in a worse place monetarily. So 16 years left on the clock. Family life was just decimated. Trust trampled. Finances taking a massive hit. Losing half his assets to the wife. During the time where he should be starting to enjoy the twilight surrounded by wife and family. Sure, I've seen people find love again in old age. Have worked with quite a few elderly vis volunteer work at a handful of different elderly homes, hospice centers, etc. Or find something they enjoy, but I would absolutely not say they were better for it, nor were they the majority. What do you mean front row seat? This lucky, unlucky son of a word was driving. Tears of joy. Steered headfirst into the family, then got out of the car and run away unscathed. I was just thinking, damn. She walked away from an explosion, and then I ran across your comment. Perfect. Jacob's dad. Oh, why do you think they're not my kids? Oh. Sips water. Damn, all his kids went his after 18 years. Yeah, that might break me. Legitimately break me. Definitely would still love the crap out of my kids, but I think something would break inside me. The knowing that my entire reproductive life, dude is 60, is a lie, and the opportunity to father biological kids is past. I couldn't talk to my soon-to-be ex-spouse again. Then I would need some therapy. I found out right around the time my little princess turned 1 year old. I had some doubts beforehand but didn't pursue it because I was scared of the truth. Turns out she wasn't mine, and it truly did break me and put me into a dark, suicidal place in my life that I'm thankful I made it out of. There's nothing more devastatingly heart-wrenching than finding out a child whom you love so much is not yours. She is now 5 years old, and she will always be my princess and my daughter to me, no matter who or what anyone says. Her real father is in her life now, but she still calls me daddy. I have an older daughter too, that is for sure my blood and air sisters, so I will always be part of her life and will never turn my back on her for her mother's infidelity. None of this was her fault. She is an innocent child and she is nothing short of a blessing to me regardless of blood. I thought this too. I'd be traumatized. Honestly, if I were Op, I would have been traumatized watching this happen. Op would be positively mortified, I'd wager. I agree, absolutely. This is the absolute best TIFU I have ever read. Has all the elements. Op steps in crap and doesn't know it until 2 seconds too late. Family drama, edit, including multiple affairs, shouting and screaming, people running off upset, causing a divorce. This is bound to become a Reddit classic. Yes, so many things had to happen for all of it to come together so perfectly and awkwardly. Great job being horribly uncomfortable for our benefit, Op. This is why you don't cheat on your spouse and think you can get away with it, folks. Cheat on your spouse, cover all your tracks, make sure you are rock solid, forget about it, move on with your life. Then 20 years later your son's girlfriend comes over for dinner and shatters your lie effortlessly, on accident, and had the audacity to act like a victim. That's that crap. What's done in the dark will be brought into the light crap. Kinda scary. Makes you want to just do right. Being honest is just freaking easier. Op gets an A+. It was a negative outcome though. Try to be positive about it, now they know the truth. So, my dad is O. I'm O+ and my mom is B+. A few months before my dad died, he told me that my brother wasn't his son. I thought he was joking and immediately asked my mom about it. She freaked out and gave a super sketchy answer. My dad explained that my brother needed surgery when he was a toddler and they found out he was AB. I can't imagine the discussion that took place at that point. My brother used to donate blood with my dad regularly in high school and college, but abruptly dropped out of his biology major and moved across the country. Edit. I'd like to add that my mother didn't knowingly lie to my father about my brother's parentage and that my father is not blameless in this scenario. I don't know all the details, but I do know that after finding out, they had a much healthier relationship and were married for 40 years in total. I love the science of blood types, so this was a great read, even if it had an unfortunate ending. 5/7 Op. Great job. Keep working on those Punnett squares. 0 quarters for the dad though. 1 quarter for the dad, 1 for the kid that actually belonged to him. None of the kids were his, and the baby was the older sister's kid. But I thought Jacob was his son, because of the O blood type, not Tab. The last paragraph before the TL. Doctor says they discovered none of the kids were the dad's, so the blood type was just a coincidence. That's a ton of cheating over many years. At least 3 cheating. Why do I have to take science? I'll never use this stuff after I graduate. Quote. Was the pastor the father? I hope this will work, but this article talks about the intricacies of blood types, whilst the article talks about the other way. 2 AB people having O child. I presume that the opposite could also be true. If the mother had a rare single AB allele, and an O allele, which she could pass on to their kids, therefore resulting in 2 of their 3 kids having ABO alleles and a kid with 2 O alleles. Blood types are sometimes more complicated than what you learn in high school, and that's why they shouldn't be used as a proof of paternity. Infidelity. Edited the BF's alleles. On the first read-through I remembered his blood type to be B. Never mind. The principle stands, and thank you for the award. Thanks for watching Rad. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit videos. If you like these videos, check out Rad too.